All right, y'all ready? It's your boy, CEO Matty J, aka Mr. Document the Process. And today I'm going to share a full case study on how I'm able to build consistent brands, not just on the front end, but on the back end. A lot of people are familiar with the front end plays, but the question is, how do you build your business on the back end? How do you create systems so you can be able to sustain your business, sustain your cash flow, and make sure you're at peace? Because that's the reason why we build business in the first place. We need joy, happiness, and peace. So today I'm going to share the real life case study on how I was able to help develop Girl CEO, step by step, line by line, the hows, whens, where, and why. If you already heard this case study before, this conversation is for you. Not for you, but if you're new to this and you want to pull out some new gems from this, welcome. So let's get straight into it. We're going to do a screen share play. All right? I love screen share plays. All right. So, all right, y'all. What's up? It's your boy, CEO Matty J, aka Mr. Document the Process. And we're going to be sharing and dropping some bars on a case study on how. Let's run it like this. Can you guys hear me? Give me some ones if you guys can hear me still. I want to make sure you can hear me. Some ones, some fires, something. Let me make sure that you can hear me so I can start going on this case study live in effect on how I was able to consistently build brands throughout the ages and how specifically I was able to help develop Girl CEO. All right, you can hear me? Perfect. Let's go ahead and I just want to ride. All right, let's do it. So I'm going to share the screen. Here it is, Girl CEO. So when I start any brand, the first thing I need to do is create a blueprint. All right, anybody who starts a brand, the first thing we need to do is create a blueprint. So business model was first. So for Girl CEO, the first thing we needed to do was make sure that the logo was good, the mission statement, all these things. Very important, y'all. This is very important. So let me go and do the breakdown for the first leg. After somebody gets the consultation, after somebody understands the vision and the mission, when we start to develop, we start there. All right. So let me go ahead and share with you guys the process. All right. This is a Trello board. For those who don't know, I use Trello boards so I can track my development. It's very important. I have to track my development. So because I know anytime I help build a brand or build my own specific business, I need to make sure that I'll be able to do it again. That's super key. So here's the timeline. Timeline for this specific brand, Girl CEO, was Ronnie reached out to me in March 6, 2017. She said, yo, no, I need a consultation. Send me an invoice. Give me the details. Let's run the play. That's how it starts. This is how the story begins. Remember when I tell case studies, you hear the beginning to the end. All right. So I'm inspired. I'm happy that I have the opportunity to work with somebody who knows what they want, is very direct, and wants to run the play with no delay. Let me know how serious she was by telling me that she's ready to pay. Send me an invoice. I don't want no fluff. Let's get straight into it. Right? So I said, cool. E-commerce has been my passion, T2G. Thanks to God. My site automatically allows you to set up a meeting for us. You can do it directly at book.ceomattyj.com. It will redirect you to a calendar so we can lock in the time and the date, right? She said it didn't redirect her, but she figured it out and sent a screenshot of her paying for an hour conversation. $149. I was charging $149 at the time, 2017, right? She locked it in, showed how serious she is. Let's run the play. Then I let her know after consultation, this is what you need to do. If you need help building it, I can help build it for you. She said, I'm not going to build this business, right? She literally said this and told me, I'll pay you. What's the cost? $5,400, as you can see there. She paid the invoice, half up front for brand development. Now, let's get to work. Let's get to work. First step, logo. Make sure that her existing logo would suffice. After I did an audit, I said I didn't like her existing logo for a couple reasons. The reason why I didn't like her existing logo is because it was too thin. The whole point of a logo is for brandability and rememberability, right? So somebody needs to be able to notice something from far away. And the font that was used was too skinny. So if I'm further away, I can't see it well, right? We need that brandability like the golden arches, the McDonald's logo. What I'm showing here is all the different development stages of a brand and the things that I was able to assist her with, all right? Learning lessons. This is an amazing case study. Next, let me go ahead and share now the development process for the logo. Let's get into it. All right. First things first, also, to-do list. Anytime I develop anything, I need to make a to-do list so I can take all my ideas out of my head and not get overwhelmed. Anytime you have an idea, most people just keep it in their brain and they overwhelm themselves versus just creating a list and having peace after creating a list. All right, let's talk about the business model and the revenue model and the business branding. Start date, right before September 26, 2017. Brand name Girl CEO. It used to be called, her website used to be called I Am a Girl CEO, and her Instagram was I Am a Girl CEO. I said, no, that is not as brandable as Girl CEO Inc. So we changed it to Girl CEO Inc. So I bought the domain for her, transferred it to her, and I got the Instagram name and transferred it. All right, redesigned the logo, came up with a mission statement. Mission statement. We don't know where we're going unless we have a mission. We have to have a destination. You're not going to be able to create a community brand unless we have a mission, y'all. We need this in our businesses. Not only a mission, but a business plan as well. There's a difference between a mission statement and a business plan. And a business plan doesn't have to be a 20-page, 100-page essay. It just has to detail who the target audience is. The reason why you're on Walmart is because you don't know who your target is. Don't miss the bar. The why. Who the competitors are going to be. How you're going to be generating income. Things of that nature. So that was the logo that I am designing. I documented what font I used so she can have it, so she can create more marketing assets later. Right? So that was the font. I based this design off of the old one. I didn't want to make it too different from the old one. So what we called it is an iteration, a variation, right? If you look at the history of McDonald's logo, history of Amazon's logo, and it wasn't always the same. It develops over time, right? So this was the old logo, as you can see. It was too thin. I didn't like it at all, right? We need something bold, ready, brandable. So I designed it, documented what colors I used, what the font typography I used, and made different variations of the logo just in case she wasn't feeling the first one. Made the second one, different style, right? And sometimes you can use different logos for different situations. So I made another logo variation. We didn't end up going with it, but I have it documented to show that that's part of the development process. Sometimes you do things that you're not going to end up using. That's okay, right? Document the process. Next, what we have here is Girl CEO mascot. Any business, y'all, needs to have, especially a community, needs to have some type of mascot. A human being can't always be the face of a brand. A mascot goes way further. So I developed the mascot, emojis, and something that can be brandable for a girl community. Game changer, right? Imagine McDonald's without Ronald McDonald. Imagine all the basketball teams without the mascots and football teams without mascots. Mascots build energy, culture for team development. Next step, product development. Ronnie already had a product with Girl CEO before she reached out to me. She was primarily selling her planners. Actually, that was the only product there. Outside of her digital products, her main physical product was these planners. However, we need to create a product that leverages bigger, creates more impact. A garment. When somebody wears a garment, they become a walking billboard of the brand. So what I did was I sourced the design. Why start from scratch when you can start with a batch? Why come up with a new idea when you can leverage an idea that's already been established? I reached out to my boy Justin Owens. As you can see, there's a similarity. Rapper, athlete, entrepreneur. He also had the female version, model, gold digger, entrepreneur, but he wasn't pushing it. He didn't have a business to push the version for women. So I said, Justin, let me use this design. I'm working with a dope entrepreneur over here. Her name is Ronnie Brown. Let me use your design. I know you're not using it right now. We'll figure out how you're going to compensate you. You're my boy. We'll figure it out on the back end, but let me use it. He said, bet. We used the design for her. She did not like it at first. She didn't like the idea of using somebody else's design. She didn't know who Justin Owens was. She was very skeptical. She said a lot of things, actually. But I said, trust the process. She ended up allowing me to run the play. Why did she allow me to run the play? Because I got feedback first. Feedback is key. Some people need to believe when they see it. Some people see it to believe it. Some people believe it after they see it. So I helped her with the process. I helped her identify the feedback. So I said, can you make a design for me? While I'm doing this over here, can you make a design? Put the sweaters and hoodies on a design. She had one of her designers make it. I posted on my page and I asked, which one do you guys like? The feedback was amazing. Yo, we love these sweaters. What can we buy? Let me have the pink one. Let me have the gray one. This was the feedback and validation that we need to say, let's run the play. This is the jersey that's going to represent the community to the point where it's still being used to this very day. Everybody in any business, in any industry should have a jersey that represents their brand. Please know the leverage of jerseys, right? And yeah, it may be a sweater, but I call it jerseys because jerseys signify a team. So I don't call my t-shirts jerseys. T-shirts. Call them jerseys. Make sense? All right. So we made different variations: the gray, the fuchsia, and the black. And we made sure we launched with all three, so girls had options. Because I have history with managing multiple SKUs, I had no problem doing three. Typically, I want people to start with one product and one product only, one variation only. But I had experience, so I can be able to handle it. Next, website development. Now we need to be able to present it on a home. So she already had a website. She already had a website designer, but I had to go in there, get access to change the banners, upload the products, the descriptions, the pricing, things like that nature. So part of a brand developer is you have to have multiple hats if you're a full high-level brand developer. So because I have experience with all these things, I was able to go there and quickly change the banner, add the products, do the little things, and more importantly, the back end. You can have an amazing front-end website all you want. The website can look amazing. However, what's on the back end? What's the engine looking like? Right? The Ferrari ain't a Ferrari just because of how it looks. It's because of the engine, the back end. So in the back end of a website, what are the tools that allow your website to run more smoothly? It's called apps. Very similar to your iPhone. Everybody's iPhone only is a real iPhone because it has apps that allow you to have a better experience and allows you to be able to have more utilization. So there's apps that business owners create for your business to help you be a better business, right? Automations of emails, automations of pop-ups, upsells, a lot of automational tools that I had to go and set up. If you saw that there's over 30 apps there, I had sat down with different CMOs, CTOs to identify what their service was and choose those services and subscribe to them. We used all the money that came from pre-sales to reinvest into the business for the cash flow. All right. Next, we need the social media development, right? She already had an Instagram page. It was called I'm Girl CEO. Change the name. We need Girl CEO Inc. to be consistent with the website, right? As you see, it's in its infancy stages. 7 posts, less than 1,000 followers. It's over 6,000, 6 figures of followers now, but this is where the infancy stages. So that means we're going to have to create a business plan for social media, right? Social media is like a TV show. When you create content, you need a plan, you need a strategy, and you need to have consistent episodes. So we created a plan for that. Created a second page. Most people don't do this. Created a second page only for the members of the brand. Super clutch. Called Girl CEO Army. This is where we post user-generated content. Everybody who's a part of the Girl CEO community who purchases a sweater, we ask them to send us a picture and we post them on the page so other Girl CEOs can see that they're a part of other Girl CEOs network. We tag them, give them an opportunity to network with each other publicly. Next play, customer support development. Another department, right? You're already thinking, how can somebody get all this for $5,400? I didn't do it for the money. I didn't do it for the income. I did it for the outcome. Customer support. One of my favorite programs is Help Scout. Help Scout allows you to create automations to help support the people who purchase or need help. All right. Then I asked my wife to help manage and operate the emails. I taught her, I trained her, and it was an amazing learning experience. And that was Ronnie's feedback. Your wife has been a blessing, Matt. Thank you for allowing her to be a part of my mission. You're a brother for life. How are you? Thank you for always putting God first. That was her feedback. Live in effect as building was happening. Before any turmoil documented, right? I've been always the same person. Nothing has changed. I'm also documenting the email feedback that customers were giving. Man, this is such an amazing email. Thank you for responding so quickly. Thank you for personalizing the message. Next play, shipping and fulfillment development. Right? Any business that you ship products, you need to have systems in place to make sure you don't go out taking L's. So again, I had my wife help with the shipping process, right? It's all about systems, not about knowing how to do it. It's setting up systems. So I had experience with setting up ShipStation, after ship, and I documented the process. So initially, Ronnie wanted to find her own supplier, right? But she got quotes, and that was her. They have lost their mind with these prices. This is the price of a local vendor that they gave me. I said, you don't have experience in this. You don't have to look. I'll do the work for you. Be a CEO. Market, brand, inspire, motivate. I'll do the work. I found the manufacturer and sourced the supplier, somebody who's in my church. The beautiful thing about a church, there's members that have their same morals as you, core values as you, that offer services that you need. Instead of working with somebody on the outside, keep it in-house. And we did. He beat the prices off and helped print out the products. As you can see, I had them delivered to one of my offices in Atlanta. All of them. Now I have to be the shipper, right? I now have to figure out how to fold, pick up the box. It was so overwhelming that I made a post. I made a post. I said, yo, guys, I need help. Over 13 women, shout out to Donnie Wiggins too. They all pulled up on me to help me. I didn't ask no men to help me. I didn't ask no friends. I asked people who already found black women entrepreneurs to pull up on me to help me ship out this women empowerment product. And in exchange of helping me, I'll share some game on how you can do this for yourself as well. Work while you learn. That's the best workshop you can ever have, right? And be a part of the process. I document the process of me packaging, shipping, inventorying. The whole process is very extensive, all right? The whole process was very extensive and it's been documented to the point where one of my apartments that I wasn't using, I turned it into the whole fulfillment center, right? Documented. So many things that most people don't talk about on the front end of how a business gets built. On the back end, they realize, oh, dang, I got to do this. They get overwhelmed, right? And they end up giving up, right? But you don't have to give up because when you have help, all that stress gets spread throughout the community of people who are willing to help you, right? You don't do things by yourself, right? And that's what she did. She hired help. And luckily, I had a lot of experience to be able to do this very quickly. A lot of times, this might take 3 years for people to do. I was able to do it in months because, by God's grace, I have experience. And I documented the process for other people who wants to build a business similar like Girl CEO, right? Ronnie said, am I still at 5,400? I actually don't offer the service anymore, right? But we'll talk about that, Roxy. Appreciate you guys' question. So my boy Mark, he helped me. It got so many orders were coming in because Ronnie was promoting it. Now she had a product and offer that people wanted that was in her audience. I needed another printer. Simultaneously, my boy, I needed my boy Mark. I said, yo, take a video of everything you're doing so I can post it, so I can show people this is the process of screen printing, right? It's not easy. There's a whole process. He sent me the video. I said, appreciate that, bro. And I posted it. Here's the video of me in the office, setting up the laptop, setting up the printers, showing people how to build their business. Most people, when they build their business, they do it for themselves. It's okay. Businesses have self-interest, but make it public. Teach other people, inspire other people how they can do it as well. It's key. So I made a list of all the things that needs to be done. And part of that was, again, me reaching out. I need help. I can't do all this by myself, right? I'd rather have help. Why do things alone when you can do things together? You'll go way further when you have help. Then I made a list of all the tools that I purchased. I used the company card that was generating income. I'm not using any income from Ronnie's pockets. We want to use the income from the business. The business, we don't commingle. Business expenses come from business income. So we've reinvested in the tools that allow us the process to be smoother and faster. Tape, scissors, bubble wrap, trash cans, cable management, monitors, all those things, and the links to the Amazon. I know people are going to ask for this stuff, so I'm being really, really detailed, right? I'm writing down my realizations. We don't play no games when it comes to business development. We talk about high level. A lot of people don't know that this is what we do on the back end. Same thing with the systems after ship. When somebody buys a product, typically you get a confirmation number. I didn't want no regular, thank you for ordering, here's your confirmation number, confirmation. No. I want my stuff personalized. I like my stuff to be fun and engaging. It's a part of the whole customer experience for people to get excited. So when their package comes, they're ready to put it on and represent. So these are the codes of the emails that I had to write up for every follow-up. Once the package gets to your city, congratulations, your package just hit your city. Get ready and prepare for your Girl CEO sweater. Once it gets delivered, you already know what time it is. Knock, knock, we're here. I'm really personal with the messages and it get people really excited. I documented what emails I used, what I wrote, so people can run the play as well. Next play, email marketing development. Remember, there's two types of marketing, internal and external. Most people, they always focus on external versus internal. Internal marketing is leveraging the resources you already have. So if you have 12,000 emails, let's use that. So I asked Ronnie, how many emails do you have? She said 12,000. I was like, are you sending out any emails? She wasn't sending out any emails. I was like, let's run the play. We got to set up the email marketing department. So I made a list of flows, segments. I made the copy for all the emails that got sent out. And I documented which emails came. Abandoned cart, 1 hour. 48 hours, send this email. 3 hours, send this email. In a week, send this email. Anybody who unsubscribed, send this email. I made a checklist of all the types of emails that I need to create, integrate, so it can be automated. All right? Details, y'all. The success is in the details. All right? Next, she had a bunch of emails of people who haven't done any business with her. So I need to rally up the troops. Got to create the Rally Up the Troops email. Remember, we make the Rally Up the Troops email for people who don't know what you do, how you provide value. I created that email. It was equivalent to an I Had a Dream speech. It pulled on the emotions because it's real. But nobody can develop a women empowerment brand unless you believe in women. I believe in women. I felt it when I came to Atlanta. That's why I moved to Atlanta, right? So I was writing this email, rallying up the troops. Yo, we ain't about to have no fluff. Remember, it's not my company, and I'm not the face of it. I'm speaking as a representative of Ronnie. So I'm letting people know, yo, this is the new movement, and this is in 2017 before the digital entrepreneur wave started to begin, right? Really begin. It was already, people obviously were doing the thing, but this is before that, right? So as you guys know, you can't grow the data unless you know the data. So I'm documenting all the things and results that are happening. How much income is coming in, gross, net, conversion rates, open rates, sales conversion rates. I'm documenting all that information. How much money was coming from emails, right? I'm documenting all those things because when I be able to document it, I'll be able to identify ways to optimize it. That's the play, right? With this case study, full case study. Remember, I got accused for doing nothing for a business, and here's the receipts with the deets, right? Here's the receipts with the deets. It's kind of hard to deny this, no matter what nobody says. All right, I'm not going to show the real numbers. I don't on this call. All right, but we'll talk about stuff later on when it comes to details of profit margins and all that good stuff. All right, next, these are just examples of more emails, campaigns, and I was really big on personalizing emails, y'all. Personalization. So when I went in the emails, I said, okay, it has a 5% conversion rate. How can we make it 6? Let me make it more personal. Let me add more emojis. Let me add more signs. So I had a meeting with a technology company, an AI company that can help you create personalized signs and have somebody have your name on a whiteboard. Here's an example. He did not write those words on that whiteboard. They have it was crazy. Technology is crazy, right? And there's a way to scale that for every client. So imagine a client opens up an email, they see somebody holding a sign with their name on, it's going to grab their attention to read the rest. It's going to make them feel a part, as they should be, right? Next, play, brand ambassador marketing. Again, why start from scratch when you can start with the batch? There's people who already have a following. Why continuously barge your following with the information when there's people who haven't heard about it yet? So I reached out to entrepreneurs that I knew. And I said, hey, I'm hitting up all the successful women entrepreneurs I know. I'm sending y'all hoodies. I'm sending y'all sweaters. Here's the website. Here's the Instagram. Check it out. If you like it, send me your size and address. I'll send it over. I got my girls who had influence in business, wear the sweater organically, naturally. When they're out about, when they're doing business, when they're doing interviews, and people in the comments when they post, yo, I like your sweater. Where you get it from? Sales came in. Sales start coming in. It's called OPN. Other people's networks. You're probably asking, yo, how can I get all these sales once I develop my brand? Or once Maddie J helps me develop my brand? Well, you can use other people's networks. You don't have to have a following, right? Another play was using her friends, Ronnie's friends. I asked Ronnie to send me a list of her friends. She didn't send it to me, so I start to find who she knew, and I start hitting them up directly, all right? I said, Nicole, I had Erica hit up Nicole, her friend, and say, yo, we want to send you my sweater. Send us your address. And she wore it. Sales blew up. Right, blew up. Her own friend didn't even know about her own brand with the sweaters. Right, she didn't have it. So I hit up Ronnie, and she said, I've been sending out sweaters to influencers. Please send me a list of all the influencers you know. Nicole just posted, and orders are coming through too. She's excited. That's one of my best friends. I said, yeah, I know. I had Erica hit up all your influencers you know. She's gonna make a list of other influencers with big followers. She never sent me that list, but yeah, Nicole called me and I was like, who is this Erica person? So we were just talking about the situation. Right? So Erica had to randomly hit her up because we knew why try to look for new influencers when there's already influencers that already know Ronnie to make this process smoother, right? That's the play when it comes to brand ambassador marketing. You're an ambassador of a brand, all right? So I also, because I wasn't getting that list that I was requesting, I started hitting up the girls that I knew, who I had a relationship with. So I started sending them out, right? We're reinvesting into the business. We're using product to get more community members, not sales. We want more community members. Community members obviously turns into sales. All right? Community members. So I also did a campaign with Ball Alert. I have the most ad spend with Ball Alert and Shade Room to this day. I don't think anybody can come close. I've been doing brand ambassador campaigns with Shade Room on the back end for brands that you don't even know that I help. For my brands, other brands, and brands that you don't know, right? At this time, 2017, they're only charging $600 per post. So I paid that $600, and I'm tracking how many followers are going to come from this post, how much money is going to come from this post, how many likes are going to come, engagement. I'm tracking all those details so we can be able to repeat, rinse and repeat, right? That's the marketing play when a brand ambassador. So I'm documenting all those details one by one, all right? So we're going to be ending this soon because I have to pray. 10 o'clock and 2:30 every day we pray. Prayer time. So I'm going to pause. You guys can leave, but I'm just going to pause for 2 minutes to pray. All right? You guys can enjoy the view for now.
Is the camera off?
All right, y'all, I'm back. Thanks for waiting for me. All right, it's still going, shoot. User-generated content. This is where it's at right now. Remember, part of a community is displaying that there's a community. So everybody who is purchasing the sweaters, we want to make sure everybody gets their highlighted moment, right? With the sense of belonging. So we use user-generated content and promote that versus buy our sweater, buy our hoodie, no. Check out the members that are part of the brand and check out the clothing that they're wearing. If you want this too, join our community, all right? That's how that process works. All right, next. Once I started to realize how much work I was doing and how I was being undercompensated, unfortunately, right, I started to break down all the departments that were needed to actually operate this business continuously. I was wearing all those hats. What you just saw there, I was doing everything in that list. So I made a list and I made a proposal to her. I was like, look, man, I'm doing all these things. I'm the design team. I'm doing I'm doing all this. What can we do to get some help? Right? It didn't work out. I wasn't getting compensated, so I had to transition. That means I now need to move everything that I built for her and give her full access so I can move on to my next play. So I documented the notable wins. I documented the lessons. Like some of the opportunities that may have been missed or optimized, I'm documenting all those things. Why? Because can't grow the data unless you know the data, all right? Any ideas that I had throughout the process, you don't want to implement ideas all the time immediately. You want to document it so you're able to prioritize it later on. Next play. Before we transition, the digital product development. What we created was a t-shirt. T-shirts and apparel do not have the best profit margins unless you're doing high value. 20-30% profit margins, y'all, right? That means you have to sell hundreds of thousands. You have to do wholesale for it to make sense financially, especially for somebody who's used to making six figures. So we needed a digital product. We needed a membership. So I introduced her to the continuity plan. My mentor tells me you don't have a business unless you have continuity, period, right? Where you're taking care of people consistently instead of looking for new customers. You have a continuity program, a membership program, whether it's $5, $10, $20. So I texted her, I said, yo, we need a membership program. So I told her you need a $1 program. We're going to start off with $1. Why $1? Because it separates lookers from bookers. Lookers don't have to invest. They look at the content, they consume content for free. Bookers, they pulled out their wallet, made a financial investment. And when you invest, you increase your interest. So I proposed a $1 club, but she didn't have an offer. So I had to create all the content. So I had to first convince her. So this was the message I sent. I said, we need to drop a $1 club ASAP. $1 club sounds like a strip joint. Right? Every idea as a developer, I'm a creative as well, not just administrative. A lot of times it'll get shut down, criticized, ridiculed. I have to overcome all that mentally. She called it a strip club. I'm like, no, it's just a once a month meeting for a month for $1. She didn't want to do it because it didn't make sense. And I get why it didn't make sense because she's never been through it before. Said, trust the process, please. I don't want to have to over-explain myself. Trust the process. That's going to be the name. And here's a case study of a company, a $130 billion company that's doing it. the Dollar Shave Club. So I called her, I explained it, and she ended up obliging. She ended up saying, I get it, right? So she understood the play, and we started working on development of the membership program. Created the membership card. She actually had the membership card developed. She now is a believer. Then, as soon as I did the email, 780 people signed up for the dollar program. Then 1,300, as you see in a screenshot. And then 2,800. So 2,800 members end up paying $1 a month to be a part of this membership. So you might be thinking, dang, $2,800, is that a lot? First off, $2,800 is a lot a month, reoccurring, predictable income for one meeting a month. However, that wasn't the end goal. The end goal is to provide another offer for people who don't just want to meet once a month. They want a little bit more personalization that can upgrade and upsell to $10 a month, $100 a month, to a mid-ticket, a high ticket. But once you are a part of a community, a membership, you can start running those optimization revenue plays. Because some people don't have experience with this, they don't get it. But if you trust the developer, they'll be able to run the play for you, right? And that's what my job is to do. Trust me, I'll do it. However, I got a lot of pushback. My head was spinning so much. I said, all right, let's just transition, right? So I made sure I created all the documents for her, gave her full access. Remember, this case study that we're sharing right now with all these numbers and details, it was always public. Actually, all my case studies, every business that I've been able to be a part of and develop, I create case studies for. And 90% of them are public. I actually work with corporations where some of these corporations, they know that I case study. That's actually how they found me, through a case study. But they say, yo, Matt, we don't want anybody to know that you're helping us with this business. We want a white label. We want white glove. We want to license it, but we want full ownership. We want a non-solicit. We need an NDA. We need these things. They say these things up front. We agree, and I get compensated for that type of term, right? $5,000 and I can create a case study is cool. No case study, I'm charging 100 times more than, 10 times more than. Because I'm not going to be able to receive the benefit of sharing my case study. Case study, I'm trying to impact people's lives. So if I spend a year helping build a specific brand and I can't share my story, please believe you're going to compensate me for this. If you're not willing to compensate for me, that's cool. We're going to agree to not work together, right? But in the case with Ronnie, agreed to it. She had access to the Trello board, but the issue that happened was once people start seeing the case study, guess what conclusion they came up with? I'm gonna stop sharing. The conclusion was, dang, Matty J built the whole brand. That's not the narrative that I put out. They just looked at the case study and said, dang, how can I hire Matty J? And that's not my intention. My intention isn't to start serving hundreds of people and doing this. Why would I want to do what I just did for Girl CEO Inc. for a bunch of people? No, I want to empower people so they can do it themselves. And if they can't do it themselves, I want to empower other developers to follow the same framework so they can offer the service to other people, right? That's what we call open source in development world. Open source, meaning your intellectual property is now available for other people so they can learn from it, use the frameworks to apply for their own. For example, Elon Musk, a lot of his technology and IP is open source. He owns it, it's trademark copyrighted. However, he open source it so other manufacturers like Ford, other manufacturers like Volkswagen, other manufacturers can use the information that he used to build an electric car so they can build electric cars as well. It's in Elon Musk's best interest to have open source because it creates a bigger market, right? And then when the market's bigger, whoever provides better services gets more market share. That's how that works. But people have a scarcity mindset. They want to hold things to themselves and they don't want to share. You actually make more. You receive more. You receive more benefits when you share. But you only share when you care. That's the bar. All right? So that's the lessons for today's case study. We just did a quick case study in 30 minutes. But typically when I do consultations, I break down each line and personalize it for the next person's specific situation. Not everybody wants to create a community. Not everybody wants to create a clothing line. Not everybody wants to create a hair company. We want to make sure we fine tune the steps based on your needs. So if anybody wants me to help them with their brand, you have access to my free resources, my free case studies, right? If you want the details and context, hit me up. We can figure out a plan and make sure we provide a solution for you. Remember, I don't need more income. I do not need more income. I have enough passive and predictable income by God's grace to sustain my life for years to come, by God's grace. By God's grace. Only by God's grace. So that's why you don't see me on calls being the dancing monkey trying to sell things all day. I don't need to, by God's grace. I have the blessed situation to all I have to do is just share my story. But when you share your story, you then have a responsibility because you just inspired somebody through this story. You motivated somebody through this story, and now they need the education. You can't leave them dry. So typically after lives like this, people are going to ask me, yo, Matt, I appreciate the content, but I'm ready to run my business. What resources can I have? And that's when my time has to get compensated. I'm always going to provide free resources so you can do it yourself. But some people can't just do it themselves. They admittedly, humbly say that they need help, which requires my time. Requires me to stop going to the beach to get on a call for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. And imagine, based on my influence, how many people need help, realize they need help. That's what happens. So I have to be compensated for my time. This is why my case studies are public, because I'm trying to train more developers so I can be able to say this. I'm not able to do it for you. I'm not able to help you one-on-one, but I have a list of trained personnel, verified people who can help you do it for you. The same way that I would do it, here are these people, here's the list. That's what I want to be able to do, create a network of vendors that can help you. I don't have the capacity. I'm only one person. You're only one person. Right? That's how that works. So now that everybody knows my intentions, now everybody knows this case study, I'll be able to post this so everybody knows the real receipts with the deceits, full case study. And this is just one business. There's hundreds of other businesses, and there's businesses that I personally own that started from scratch, and there's businesses that I've been able to be participants in from corporation level, sole proprietor level, LLCs. So now you guys know, and for those who already knew, thank you for tapping in. For those who didn't know and now know, thank you for tapping in. And for those who haven't heard this before and just barely came in late, it's going to be recorded, uploaded on my page. The reason why I'm going to be continue having this conversation for full transparency is because not everybody is here. If I have 118,000 followers and only 100, 200 people show up, there's thousands of people who don't know this information. So just like a TV show, sometimes you have to repeat it. It's just like an artist. Sometimes you have to perform the same performance in different cities and different tours. Just because you saw this conversation or heard this conversation doesn't mean I'm keep trying to talk about it. It means I'm trying to share this with people who haven't heard it. So if you already saw this episode and you don't need it anymore, please don't complain and comment and say, why are you talking about this again? Change the channel. This is not for you. This is for the next person who didn't have the opportunity to hear this. This information, I believe, changes lives. Changes lives. So to not share this information and make sure it gets promoted, advertised, and marketed as my best ability within my own network will be doing a disservice. Right? So that's what the reason is. All right. So hopefully everybody who cares will continue to share. If you need help developing your brand, DM me. Let's run the play. All right. See y'all later. God bless you.